you down because he makes each punch count. And they are heavy punches.
Big right hand.
Yes, he caught 11. April 19th of this year. Johnson's last outing in second-round knockout. That is a good left hand from Hopkins.
That is a very interesting point, Tim. And again, you can see Hopkins when he has a guy hurt, really trying to get him out of there.
Pouring it on, but good defense by Johnson. He covers up well with his hands up high. Hopkins trying to find openings, pounding away. Johnson, if this fight goes any distance. Two good left hand to the body. Hopkins backs him up with a combination.
There's the jab that Hopkins is throwing. That's what Johnson.
The fight at any point so far. He's been waiting to counter with the right hand lead. Hopkins over the top, and then he comes back. Short, sharp right by Hopkins bothered Johnson. He's backed him into the Johnson corner. Johnson into that good peekaboo defensive style here against the assault from Hopkins, but he is backing up, and there's an uppercut that wobbled him. Hopkins pours it on.
Talk about a guy being conditioned. That Hopkins is certainly spending a lot of it.
Hopkins a knockout.
Good right hand again by Hopkins, right on the chin.
He's a knockout puncher. He has
Hopkins.
He's resting rounds. Is scheduled for 12, and Hopkins continues that pace, backing up Johnson. Johnson hiding behind those gloves, which he does effectively.
Got hurt with that left hook to the ribs, Tim.
Yes, he did. You could see him wince. Got off the ropes to get out of there.
Another one, another.
Now, Hopkins again backing up Johnson, and Johnson goes into that peekaboo defense, and he does pick off a lot of punches, but meanwhile he's not throwing enough back.
Picking off a lot with his body and his head too, though, Tim.
Yes, that's true, but not as many with his head. And there's that uppercut finding its way between the gloves of Johnson, and Hopkins drives him back.
And now, though, Johnson, as we had mentioned, he looks battered and weary.
Hopkins had the one. Hopkins' relentless attack.
Tim, these are murderous punches that Hopkins. Just about anything that you've ever seen a fighter do, Hopkins is doing in this fight. Look at that feint. He feinted the right hand. His balance is so good, Tim. That's why he can do these things. Good footwork.
Johnson, for his part, is trying here in the 10th to throw some more punches, but he's having difficulty finding Hopkins now.
Tim, he's taking a battering now, Tim.
Hopkins pouring it on again and again. Johnson in just a cover-up mode. He's up.
Look at the 11th, and Hopkins just more or less looked at him and said, "This is it for you, brother."
Hopkins working to the body here.
Really has reaffirmed what I've thought of him. I just don't think any of the other middleweight champions would even have a chance against him.
Johnson still trying just to stay in this fight, wings the occasional punch, but Hopkins picks up the pace, and that Russell says fight's enough. The referee steps in to stop it here in the 11th. And well, here's Bernard Hopkins at the conclusion of the fight against a game challenger, Glen Johnson, but completely outclassed as Bernard Hopkins dominated right from the opening bell. Couldn't put Johnson away until the 11th when referee Pat Russell stepped in and said, "That's enough." This game challenger did all he could do, and it wasn't enough for a great chance.